guys, today I'm filming my monthly makeup ranking for September. I have 17 products that I'm going to be ranking for you guys, and there's nothing here that is a super fail. Mostly I have favorites, I have fine, and then there are 4 products that I put in the fail category because I'm decluttering them, but they're not terrible products. At number 17 would be this e.l.f. Bite Size Cheek Duo. This one is in Spiced Apple, and the blush is a pretty matte shade. This highlight is too dark for me, but I tried using it as a blush topper and I could not pick it up on my brush. It picks up on my finger just fine, but because I couldn't pick it up on a brush, I didn't love that. The blush feels pretty dry. I know that this is only $2 or $3 or $4, whatever. I know it's very affordable, but I just don't love it. I would rather pass it on. I don't want products to be good for the price. I want them to just be good, and for me, I don't love this. I know a lot of people like those duos, but I definitely am not interested in buying any more, which is fine. I have enough blushes and more that I want to try, of course. Next is something that I really want to test a little bit further. I mentioned this in my chopping block and said that I'm not quite yet ready to get rid of it, but I was hoping to love it a lot more than I did. This is the Dose of Colors DesixKaty lipstick in the shade Hey Girl. I was initially just worried about the color of this being a little funky on me, and I think it was fine when I wore it. And this is just like a little thicker of a lipstick for me. It wasn't super dry, super uncomfortable on the lips. It just felt a little heavier. And again, I have yet to find a bullet lipstick formula that I'm absolutely in love with, so keep that in mind. But I want to use it again. But yeah, I was hoping to really fall in love with it, and so far that is not how I feel. Next would be this little mini Ciate Glow to Illuminating blush in Matchmaker. I got this in a Look Fantastic beauty box, and I do think that it is a very pretty shade. It's a nice formula. It's a really nice glowy blush. However, I just don't need this. It looked pretty on the skin, but I wasn't like blown away. So I am going to be sending this to my friend Amanda, which is awesome. It makes me feel so happy, especially sending things to Amanda, because she sends me stuff all the time and is very selective with the products that she takes from me, which I think is great. I need to be a little bit more selective because I hate to end up decluttering things that were given to me. But when I ask for them, I do think I'm going to love them, and I do want to try them, and I always feel like I'm getting something from trying them. The last thing I have in the fail category, again, is not a fail. It's just something that I'm not keeping, and that would be this Joah Chasing the Sun palette from the Sun and Seoul collection. I already made a mess over here. So I have worn this palette 3 times because I wanted to create a look with each of these shimmers on my lid, and then I use this as my crease color. This is my outer corner color. So 2 mattes, 3 shimmers, 2 bronzers, a highlighter. I love this shimmer. It is so pretty. It is like a reddened shimmery coppery brown color. It's so pretty. When I wore this, people were thinking it was a little bit more red toned, but it's a very pretty shade. The other 2 shimmers are just okay. These are a little bit drier than I would like them to be texture wise. The matte shades are very thin but very pigmented. As you can see, they're smooth, they blend nicely. I was pretty impressed with that matte formula. The bronzers in here are just okay to me, but the highlighter just on this finger is really good. This is a very smooth, it's a really pretty golden tone shade. So I like about half the palette, but I have similar products, so I didn't feel like I could justify keeping this. Now this shimmer looks like a satin here that looks very dull. On my lid it was very pretty. So like I said, the mattes are a little bit more impressive than the shimmers. So I did have my friend Lauren ask me what I was wearing and ask, you know, the details of it, and I was like, don't buy it, I will give you mine. So again, I'm really happy that I was able to try this. I haven't tried much from Joah, and this was a good product. I just can't really justify keeping it in my collection. So then we've got the fine category. I have 2 liners for lip products, and basically I'm keeping all of these. I like them, but I wasn't like, whoa, they were just good. So I have the liners at the bottom of this heap here, and this first one is the Maybelline Lasting Drama Matte Eyeliner in Jade Olive, and this is a little tacky, which is not bad. I think that's good because it kind of helps it stick to your waterline. It doesn't make your eyes stick together. But I don't really think this would be great for going on the upper lash line, but for me that's fine. I only really want this for the waterline. It's a little darker than I would like it to be, but I think you can tell that it's green. It doesn't look black. So I do like this one. I do want to hold on to it. That was something that Jean sent me. Then I have the ColourPop Creme Gel Liner from the Hocus Pocus collection in Sistas, which is a really pretty orangey red metallic color. And I do think that this one is very pretty, but it really is on that red tone side, where with like my Maybelline Striking Copper, because that's a more of like an orangey copper, I feel like I can wear that with a lot more things. This, because that red does like really show up, I don't think it goes with as many things, but I think the color is very beautiful, and you guys know I love this formula. I hope they keep releasing more shades in collections. Then I have 4 lip products that I honestly love equally. I really do. And this first one, I was surprised by how much I like this. This is the Morphe Madison Beer Lip Gloss in Venus. I got this because it was like 40% off, maybe 50% off. Really good deal. I wore this over top of ColourPop lip liner in Good and Plenty. I just outlined my lips with that and then filled it in with this gloss. It gave so much great color. It was not sticky. It was very smooth, decently long wearing. Like, it didn't disappear in matter of minutes. I was so impressed with this, and I think out of all the shades she has, this is the darkest one. There's what that color's like, and it does have one of those flat paddle applicators, which I really like. And I like this amount of opacity. I'd say it is like a medium, but it doesn't feel too heavy or too thick on the lips. Again, not sticky. I was very impressed with this formula. I really did not expect to like it as much as I do. Next is something that I've talked about before. I've reviewed these before, but this is a new shade that I got. This is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in Stone, which I thought would be more of like a cool tone nude. And it's sort of a cool tone tan, but it's not super cool, but it's not as warm as some of these others. I don't quite know how to describe it, but it is right here. Very pretty shade, and I like this formula as well. Again, it is not super heavy, it's not super sticky. It has a medium opacity, which is what I like. I prefer like a light medium to medium. I don't like a super full coverage gloss like the Anastasia ones. So definitely happy to have another shade. The only thing I don't like about this is that they are too big to fit in like a regular lipstick organizer, which is very irritating. I wish that brands would think about that a little bit more, but the formula is great. Happy I have that shade as well. It's a great nude. And next is a new formula to me. This is the Maybelline Ultimatte Slim Lipstick in the shade More Buff. All the colors start with more and then some word to describe them. And this is like a skinny lipstick. It does have that classic Maybelline scent, which sucks. Like, you guys came out with a new lipstick formula and you had to give it that same smell. Like, I don't think anybody likes this. I guess somebody does, but it ain't me, I tell you that. This is a very nice nude. It's not too pale, which is great. I think some nudes, even though I'm fair, I can't wear super light nudes. This one I think is just perfect. This is a nice thinner matte formula, but it doesn't feel as silicone-y as their other matte lipsticks in like regular packaging. Those are a little too silicone-y for me. Sometimes that type of slip, I don't like the way it feels on my lips. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't know. I'm a little picky about it, and I also feel like the Maybelline ones were a little bit thicker, so it wasn't as bad as like the MAC Powder Kiss lipsticks. I feel like those can apply a little bit unevenly because of that silicone texture. But anyway, not drying, very long wearing, stays in place nicely. Really, really pretty shade. I don't think I'll pick up any more colors, but I am happy to have this. I think that would be a great fall lip color. And then the last one I have here, I wore this in my summer favorites video. And this is a Juvia's Place lip gloss. This is from the bronzed collection that was released with the bronzed rustic palette and the actual bronzer duos. And this is in the shade Bronzed Rose. And I'm trying not to have any schluff out. It does have a larger doe foot applicator, which is fine. This also is a medium gloss. It's almost like medium leaning full, but not too much. It's not too heavy, not too sticky, has a beautiful shine to it. This is a really unique color to me, and I loved it with that makeup look. You can see how much shine it has. Really, really like this. It definitely made me interested in trying out other shades as well. I would love to go into Ulta and be able to swatch them, but was very, very impressed with that formula. Now we're getting into the favorites. This is something you guys might be surprised about if you saw my first impression on Instagram. This is the Lawless Conceal the Deal Long Wear Full Coverage Foundation. I have tried this so many times, and this is the shade Pearl, which is a little light for me, but the next warm tone shade that was darker, I think would have been a little too dark. So initially, you can hear very, very liquidy foundation. At first, when I applied this, I felt like it wasn't blending out the easiest. It wasn't giving me very much coverage. I could see a lot of my skin peeking through. And I was like, this sucks. I hate it. But then as it like set in a little bit more, I felt like more coverage appeared. I feel like I was doing other stuff. I went back to my face and I was like, what? Like that it did look like I had full coverage. Of course, when I set it with powder, it definitely looks full coverage. I do think it's very long wearing. I do think it's nice. I really went back and forth for a while. I went outside of that return window, so I'm keeping it. And I am impressed with this. I still prefer my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Foundation Matte and the NARS Soft Matte Foundation. I like those better than this one, but I do still think this one is really good. Definitely looking forward to playing with this more. I do still set it, even though it says self-setting, but really it blew me away that not did it just dry down, that when it did, it actually looked like I had more coverage than when I initially applied it, which was very weird, but good. Next, I have a couple blushes, and this is something that I received in PR, and I loved it a little bit more than I thought I would. This is the Pure Blushing Act Matte Blush in the shade Pretty and Peach. It has a really pretty marbled look, so there is some pink in there as well. This is a beautiful matte blush. It smells like powdered vanilla. It smells similar to like the Too Faced products. I really like this. This is a very, very pretty shade, very pigmented, looks nice on the skin, not too dry, but it truly is a matte finish. Really enjoy this, and I like how sleek the compact is. Next is something that my friend Amanda sent to me. I tried to make a Geek blush a while ago, but it was a really bright shade. And this one is Heartthrob, which is like a peachy pink shade, and you can see that it has a satin finish, but it looks matte on the skin. I'm wearing this today. I really love this. This was very pigmented, blended nicely. Super happy to have this in my collection. Sure, I have some things that are similar, but I really, really enjoy this one as well. And I think this is the same size as MAC blushes. And I have one spot left in my MAC blush palette, so I'm gonna plop that in there. But really, really happy to have this. It's so, so pretty. So at number 4, I have the Ambiance palette. So last month or the month before, I had reviewed the Rendezvous palette, which was from holiday of last year, but it was still available on Nordstrom. If it still is, I will link it down below. I like that palette better than this one. This has more shades in it, but I would pick the Rendezvous because of the tones of those. You have 3 great shimmers, a transition crease outer corner color for me, and it's just such like an easy palette. I love the tones of those mattes. These I like as well. You guys know I like the Sigma formula. The shades in here are right up my alley. I love warm neutrals, and these matte shades all have a lot of different depth to them. They do have different undertones. They do look different. I do like this palette, but if I am comparing it to the Rendezvous, I just like the undertones in those shades a little bit more. The shimmers are a little bit more varied than the ones in this palette, but it is very good. Let me swatch the prettiest color in the palette, which is Marigold. I have so many like crazy swatches going on over here. And there's that shade. So pretty. Definitely does not disappoint. Very, very good quality palette. I do definitely recommend it. Do not buy anything from Sigma full price. Sigma's on Look Fantastic, and I have a 22% off code that always works on Sigma, but also on their own website they have 20, 30, 40% off sales all the time. So never buy anything full price from Sigma. Next, speaking of Look Fantastic, is a product that I was sent and I'm in love with. This is the Illamasqua Beyond Powder Highlight in OMG. It's a really pretty champagne-y color. And this is like a baked formula. I usually like hate baked products, but this is so good. So this is the highlight I'm wearing today. You can tell it's very thin and it feels a little like, the texture's so interesting, but it gives a beautiful glow on the skin. And because it is that nice thin formula, it doesn't look like you just have a layer of powder on your skin. It doesn't look textured. It just gives the most gorgeous glow. I feel like this gives a natural effect without being like a natural highlight like the Laura Mercier Matte Baked Radiance Powder. This is so good. The only thing I don't like about this is the packaging is ginormous, but this product is so good. I just highly recommend it. I've got it swatched heavy right there, but you can see it on my cheeks. So pretty. I really, really love that product. And then we have my top two palettes, and these are really like neck and neck. And really, basically, I just try to see out of these palettes, which one would I wear the most of the colors. That didn't really make sense, but you know what I'm saying. So at number 2, we have the ColourPop Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters palette, which was re-released this year, which is very exciting. I love the cartoon drawing in here. I think it's so cool. And this is a 15 pan palette. However, I don't like these shades here because, oh sorry, these are mattes with glitter, which you guys know I hate that finish. That's so dumb. I would have loved this palette if it was a 9 pan because I think these 3 rows here are perfect. So incredible. This is a pressed glitter. It applied very well. It is like a little tacky. It has a lot of like base gel to it. I don't want to say gel because that makes you think of like bad glitter gels, but like it stays together. I did not have too much fallout on my face. I definitely say do like your outer corner crease, do all of your other eyeshadow, and then put that on the lid. But it looked really good. I was super impressed with it. At first I had some troubles blending out these darker shades, but I think it was just the way that I was applying them. So I applied them a little bit differently and it worked out very, very well. Again, I would totally like to just get rid of these 2 columns here and just keep that center 9. I think those are so good. I loved the looks so much. So I did a red look, a purple look, and then instead of using this beautiful olive green on my lid, I used the glitter instead, but so good. Really happy with this. You guys know how much I love like warm brown, so that color is really good, but really, really happy that I have this palette and it performs super well. I want ColourPop to stop doing those matte glitter shades. Oh, this one does too. That's so stupid. But for those 9 in the center, I love it. And the packaging. Ranked at number 1 is the ColourPop RawBeautyKristi at Forest Sight palette, which is so good. I bought this on launch day and I didn't use it until now, which is just despicable. So you have 2 shimmers. Everything else in here is matte, except this one is like a matte with a little bit of shimmer, not glitter, but shimmer. So thank you, Kristi. I wish it was just a regular matte, but I get it, and I thank you for not being glitter. I love this shade. I paired it with the Hocus Pocus palette one day, really loved it. I did like a yellow look and with this shade, and then I did like a green look. I loved that green look. I felt it to be super flat around my eyes. I actually recreated 2 tutorials from Kristi, loved them. And then I did do an all matte look as well. And I used this shade on the lid. Looked beautiful. Applying a matte shade on my lid, it did not skip whatsoever. It was really smooth, blended nicely into one another. It looked very, very beautiful. I haven't done an all matte look in a while, so I was a little nervous about the application, but it worked perfectly. So this is such a beautiful palette. At first I was like, oh, I wish there were more shimmers, and I would like for there to be maybe have been one more shimmer. Like if we could have gotten rid of that color, had one more shimmer, that would have been perfect. But I'm very impressed with this quality, and the shades are absolutely beautiful. So a very, very good month. Like I said, there are a couple things that I am going to be decluttering just because I don't love them, but they're not bad at all. Super happy to have finally used these palettes, honestly. Like, so happy, and I'm very happy that I love them. So guys, I would love to hear your thoughts on these products in the comments down below, and I would love to hear what makeup products you tried out this month and what you thought of them. And I'm sorry, I'm rushing. My son's crying in the background, but I'm so proud of myself for being at like 22 minutes. Like that's good to have reviewed 17 products, don't you think? I think so. Anyway, oh my gosh, gotta go. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.